In this video, you can see a Russian tank that got blown up by a mine. Its torn track is evidence of that. The tank crew hastily abandons their tank, taking only the most valuable belongings. Just a few minutes ago, this tank was returning to the rear after completing a combat mission when it was hit by a Russian mine. However, the mines were not camouflaged. We can even see them from above. We have another video taken from a different angle where it is also evident that mines are placed on the road, but the crew's still driving forward. They abandon their tank, and the Ukrainians destroy it shortly afterward with an anti-tank missile. Ukrainian forces are increasingly using the HIMARS and M270 rocket launchers to directly destroy Russian military equipment. Aerial reconnaissance has located 2 Russian BM-21 Grad rocket artillery systems. They will now be destroyed by a HIMARS missile. Just a reminder, the Russian BM-21 Grad is the most common multiple rocket launcher system in the Russian army. So, the HIMARS delivers a missile strike. The Grad BM is destroyed. It's on fire, and then all its projectiles explode. The second HIMARS missile destroyed another Grad BM launcher. Another Grad BM launcher was detected nearby and also destroyed by a HIMARS missile. This is a routine and daily practice. Here's another Grad launcher. And once again, the HIMARS missile hits its target. And now we have a large caliber target. A Russian self-propelled howitzer, the 2 S-19 is hiding among the trees. However, the HIMARS missile destroys it. Another 2 S-19 self-propelled howitzer is destroyed by a HIMARS missile. The Russian self-propelled artillery system Tornado is also positioned amidst the green trees. The HIMARS receives the coordinates and delivers a missile strike to that location. And although the missile hit very close, you have no doubt that the target is affected. The destructive power of the M31A1 missile is enormous. The warhead of the missile can impact targets within a radius of up to 150 meters from the point of detonation. Pay attention to this powerful explosion. It's the explosion of a Russian armored personnel carrier. Sometimes, the Russians load explosives into armored vehicles and send them towards Ukrainian positions. However, the Ukrainians detonate them in advance. In this forest plantation, one such armored personnel carrier loaded with explosives was stopped. It caught fire and later exploded. An explosion of such magnitude can destroy a fortified bunker, which is why the Russians use this tactic. Now, here's a unique video. The Russians hastily abandoned the armored vehicle filled with explosives. According to their plan, this armored vehicle was supposed to reach the Ukrainian bunker on its own and detonate. However, the Ukrainians destroy this armored personnel carrier in advance using an anti-tank missile. Here's another example. A Russian armored personnel carrier was moving towards Ukrainian positions. Ukrainian soldiers fired an anti-tank missile at it. The enormous explosion once again proves that there was a significant amount of explosive material in the vehicle. Ukrainian reconnaissance found a bunch of Russian anti-tank mines among the trees. To destroy it, it was enough to drop one grenade from a drone. The explosion created a crater in the ground, and all the trees burned down. In this video, we can witness the detonation of a large number of ammunition hidden among the trees. Recently, the Ukrainians tracked down a large ammunition depot in abandoned buildings on the outskirts of the city of Donetsk. During the night, a precise missile strike was carried out on this depot using HIMARS. The ammunition immediately started detonating and scattering in all directions, but after just a few seconds, a massive explosion occurred, illuminating the entire city.
Footage taken from the 30th Mechanized Brigade shows a Russian motorcycle infantry group moving near the village of Vasyukivka in the Donetsk region. Ukrainian forces have been tracking this group with drones for a while, carefully monitoring their movements. As the Russian soldiers progress along a specific route, the motorcycle group at the front suddenly halts. Meanwhile, another Russian motorcycle coming from behind is targeted by Ukrainian forces. The attack hits the motorcycle immediately, causing it to explode. As soon as the frontline Russian infantry notices the attack, they panic and quickly attempt to flee the area. However, Ukrainian forces continue to track them. Drones follow the fleeing Russian soldiers moment by moment while Ukrainian artillery waits for the right moment to strike. Shortly after, Ukrainian forces launch another attack, targeting the retreating Russian infantry. The soldiers hit by the explosions are incapacitated at the scene. The only remaining Russian soldier, in a state of panic, starts retreating rapidly. However, Ukrainian forces are determined not to let him escape. Drones follow him and launch a precise strike. The soldier is hit by the blast and collapses to the ground. Meanwhile, the other surviving Russian soldiers, realizing that their motorcycles are no longer operational, try to flee on foot. The scattered soldiers head into the forest, and after a short while, they regroup and try to formulate a new escape plan. However, Ukrainian forces do not give them the chance to regroup. A new attack is launched with drones and artillery fire. As a result of the explosions, Russian infantry is severely injured. While it is unclear from the footage whether the soldiers are definitively hit, reports indicate that there are no surviving Russian soldiers left in the area. This operation once again showcases the Ukrainian forces' ability to carefully track enemy movements and carry out strategic attacks, effectively neutralizing Russian infantry. Two Ukrainian soldiers from the Mechanized Brigade are positioned near a trench in the village of Novolyubivka in the Luhansk region. Suddenly, they are attacked by two Russian infantry soldiers. The Ukrainian soldiers attempt to hold their position and defend themselves against the Russian assault. Despite the resistance from the Ukrainian soldiers, the Russian infantry continues with the attack. However, the Ukrainian forces decide to use drones for support at this point. A Ukrainian drone approaches the area and drops the first bomb, neutralizing one of the Russian soldiers. As a result of the explosion, the remaining Russian soldier starts running to fetch his injured comrade. However, at that moment, the drone drops another bomb. The Switchblade 600 has proven to be of great strategic importance to Ukraine in the Ukraine-Russia war, as it provides a vital tool for carrying out effective strikes on high-value targets. Against strong Russian defensive elements such as armored vehicles, tanks, and air defense systems, the precision strike capability of the Switchblade 600 creates a significant advantage for Ukraine. As a force multiplier that boosts Ukraine's resistance, the Switchblade 600 offers the ability to carry out long-range, high-impact strikes. These drones can cause significant losses by targeting Russia's armored units, supply lines, and strategic positions. The 47th Mechanized Brigade detects a Russian infantry group moving west of the village of Nikolsky in the Kursk region. The area consists of open terrain, making it highly risky for infantry to advance, as the enemy forces are likely to be spotted quickly. Therefore, the Russian troops attempt to infiltrate the area by using forested regions for cover. However, Ukrainian forces, thanks to advanced thermal cameras, are able to monitor their movements in real time. For a while, the Russian infantry moves through the forested area and then gathers at a specific point, briefly pausing.